Hello everyone, welcome to another Battle Cry of Freedom event set, of course, in the American Civil War, and we are looking at the Confederate State Army getting set up. These fine fellows you can see moving their cannon ready into position. The regiment's getting set, ready to go, all looking extremely handsome. There's the 33rd getting set up and ready to go. Now, let's see. Over here is the Union. The Union forces down here. General Shepard. And here you can see there's Admiral from FSE. From Flying Squirrel himself. In with the 7th West Virginian. Is it 7th or 17th? It is the 7th, because the bracket at the start. So, the boys are getting all set up. And we can jump in between these two spawn areas. Get an idea. Oh, look at this. Making their way through the field. Oh, hello. New York State Volunteers, the 58th. Complete with dead people. And in there is some members of North Carolinians as well. Oh, hello, Mr. Pixelated Apollo. Hello, Apollo. In with the 1st North Carolina. And other members of the Confederate State Army. Also the 1st Texas. 1st Sergeant Wilbert. Now, under the command of Colonel Sabo. So let's go up. Get any idea of what's going on. You can see the lines getting ready. The fire fusillade coming in. As their opponents, you can see them just setting green. Oh dear. Oh, that's not good. The Kaiser backing him up though, as he's taking some fire. Let's see if we can get up and about. Let's have a look around, shall we? The 51st. Look at these fine fellows. Esther Kai. Oh dear. They got to keep the lines together. And there's Lance Corporal Calibri holding onto the flag, making a run for it. As we move in with the 51st, Dijon Wolfie. And these guys are getting themselves set up. The line is getting prepped. The flag, you got to be careful with that flag. You don't want to lose the colours. The 51st will start repelling borders, but then you can hear the fire coming in on these guys, and the fire is pretty dangerous, as has proven. They've lost their colours holder, so Fito, unfortunately, doesn't look like he's going to be able to pick up the flag. So as we make our way through this wooded area to follow the 51st, as they look to fire back at their enemy. And look at this, their enemy, just through the fields and the trees, are opposing them. There's the 20th Maine. And now they're being charged by the Union forces. This is going to be a problem. Are they going to be able to repel borders against the attackers? As the 51st are doing a number on the commander. And there we go. Some nice blocking coming in by these guys. As more stabbing and grabbing is occurring. But it looks like sheer weight of numbers will be advantageous for these guys. Yeah, it's looking that way. Sadly, 1st Texans and 1st North Carolinians. North Carolina, I should say. There's Sergeant Wilbert. And they're doing a good job. So let's have a look around. Over here. These are Minnesotans, I believe. MN is Minnesota. ME is Maine. And further down the fence, we have... Who are these gentlemen? The 5th. US. So these fine fellows being supported and backed up by a larger or additional members of the line, and then we move in to just have a look at the Iron Brigade. See Asa also in there with Colonel Guinea or Gninsi or Gninsi, and you can see him basically getting the ammo, and they slide it into the gun. Gets rammed home. There we go. He puts a little bit of powder, and then they aim and get ready to pay them a visit with a nice explosive cannonball. So you can see the commanding officer, Sir Asa, checking out the area. Aiming the cannon. Here we go. Yeah, I think he's supposed to be aiming it back here as opposed to sitting on it. It does look like he's riding it into... but you can see the vernier gauge that was on there for the ranging. So the cannonball's going out. And you can see also the engineers building the earthworks nearby. Oh, who's this fella? The 28 ST on. Look at these fine fellows. Corporal Kling. And these guys are in danger, maybe. We'll see. Flag left in the field. Can't be good. But their left flank is covered. So you can see here, by the 36th. The 36th Illinois. Working together with the 7th West Virginia. So they are covering that left-hand flank. We're going to have a look around and see what's going on. Here we go, the 69th New York. And you can see these guys repelling borders very well indeed. The flag is left behind the guys, and there's some serious fifing occurring by Freesty, of which we heartily approve, obviously. Oh dear. They're losing some numbers. And that could be a problem. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out for them. Covering their right flank, however, over here by the fences, and in fact actually making their way down the path, are the South Carolinians. There's Eddie, the captain, actually, of the USC. So not from South Carolina. We'll have to wait and see.
Give them the bayonet! Send them straight back home!
Well, precisely. So, what's going on here? There's Marshall. Oh dear, Marshall has lost his entire artillery section. That's not good. Oh my goodness, look at this. The artillery section has been massacred. And Marshall's the only person left standing. Bad news for him. Here, with the New York State Volunteers. Making their way through the cornfields. Flags abandoned where they fell. Additional support coming in here from the 33rd. Look at these fine fellows. There's Mercenary, Private Campbell, Sergeant Boone. Those fine, brave fellows from North Carolina. And there, ladies and gentlemen, from the 77th, there is White Knight. Followed and supported by Marksman Burgundy. And there is a Duff Man. So, you can see them getting all set up. There's Kincaid. Name we are familiar with, obviously. And Duff Man checking through the binocs to see what's occurring. As the fife continues in the background. Let's follow around. Here we are in with the 69th New York. Von Winkler, officer of choice for these brave fellows of the Union Army. And we move over to have a look at the 2nd USC. And you can see, for some reason, they're flying the Confederate flag. Maybe they're looking to mess with the enemy. We'll have to wait and see. Whoops. Somebody got stuck. And so, there's Dirty Bush. Great name. The 4th Virginia. And Colonel Gwinney coming under fire. Yep, we're getting out of there. Out comes the officer's pistol, and a lot of good it did him. Overrun and brutally cut down. That is the end of the artillery section. So, the artillery now for the Union forces has been neutralized by an aggressive push coming in here from the 3rd Virginia, and also the 20th Maine, along with the 33rd. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, it's an all charge. They're all charging. And they're making their way through the cornfield. Currently littered with blood and dripping and all the rest of it. Completely gross. But they're making their way through the cornfields. Even go nice down low inside the cornfield. There's Private Augustus. Oh, here's the Union. And here they come. And it's going to be a punch up in the cornfield. It's going to go well. Yeah, that doesn't seem like all charging to me. That seems like pistols. And instead, the bayonetti murdering and stabby goodness begins. Officers trying to repel with pistol shots, but sadly for them, they were unable to prevent their being overrun. Oh dear. As out comes Eddie, captain of the 2nd US, about to get diddled. Oh, about to get massively diddled. As he's coming in with some fine saber work to defend himself against the enemy. Oh, crikey, oh, blimey, look at this. The sword work. And so, the Confederates have won the first battle. Hurrah! Oh dear. Oh, he's not looking at all well. So now you can see Hauptmann Thorn of the 1st HEI. And there's Krembit, also from the 1st HEI. Now, let's see. Recruit Knight of the 13th. Working together with his teammates. As through the woods come the Confederate State Army. Courtesy of the 33rd Detachment. Let's see what sort of thing they're aiming for. So you can see there, 230 yards away. Yeah, we're not using any of that meter crap. We're old school. Didn't have the metric system in these days. So you can see the Wilcox Alabamians over here. Now, the artillery section of the 77th. There's Hit and Blast. There's White Knight. And over here is Ziggy. Looking to repel borders against those fellows. Now, let's see. Homo Wall. Great name. Ah, look at this. North Carolinian and Texan fun. As these guys making their way. Look at them, the way they go over those fences. Isn't that lovely? Nice little touch, little details like that. So. We're just following these fellows. As they're making their way through the cornfield. They love their cornfields, these boys. They really do. And there you see from the 13th Virginia. Look at this. The 28th. Drogabeer, or Drogearbeer. As the members of the New York regiments make their way past, going left to right. Oh dear. Some people, however, will not be going that far. Let's see. The Union artillery sections. And there's QMS Cherkov from Minnesota. They're also from Massachusetts, is Colonel Gwinney. And from the Iron Brigade, there's also attention there as well. And... oh dear. So the cannons definitely move when you fire them. Yeah, there's a definite artillery pushback. And the 82nd support. There's Fortune. Lieutenant of the 51st. And you can see the artillery section. Ammo close by. Look at that, the Vernier sight. Being put in there. Locked into position. And then any minute, there you go. The cannon being fired. The ammunition being rammed home. Being cleaned out first. And then the ammunition loaded. As you can see, there's the ammunition poking in there. About to be rammed home. There we go. Rammed into position. Disappears from the barrel. Is now home. Bit of powder on the top there for the priming fuse. And then the moving of the cannon. The Vernier sight in position. Here we go. Ready to pull the lever. Or the... set the primer powder. There we go. We're ready to go any second. And it's off. Look at that. Lovely stuff. And look at that. You even got like... look at this. See? Table of firearms for the 10-pounder Parrott gun. Charge. 1 pound of mortar. See? Elevation. Look at all this detail. This kind of detail just... yeah. Adds to the immersion. You know, look at that. You've got all the various things for screw tightening up various bits and pieces. You've got obviously all the ammo, the powder, the cannonballs, charges set up, the screw top for cleaning things out. Basically, general maintenance tools that you need in order to fire a 10-pounder parrot gun. Just details like that really make... Oh dear, look at this. See? Forge A. See, they're even bringing along a portable forge to enable them to forge new pieces of equipment, tools, you name it really. Even to make horseshoes for the cavalry, which is not in the game yet. So yeah. Oh hello, engineer at work. Commander Cone. Fine engineering work, sir. So always good to see that defensive position being formed up. Look at that, and you can actually see the way it's constructed. The planks braced against the earth. Anti-cavalry, basically. And that wire frame arrangement. Just to tangle people up, really. Slow them down. Oh dear. Oh, that didn't go well. So yeah, as you can see, cannons, even dangerous to the people who operate it. Go figure. Out in the woods with the 7th Minnesota. Captain Wilfred, or Wilfried I should say, who did, I believe designed this map. So shout out to him for excellent design work. Uh-oh. Can he repel? Oh, look at that fine stab going in from him. And another fine stab going in from Wilfred. And he's determined to finish off the enemy. Going in for a stab and a grab. Look at these guys kicking up the dirt and the leaves behind them as they run. And another... Oh, fine repelling borders there, sir. So, the 1st Texas. Look at that, with the classic flag. And they've got themselves into a fight. Uh-oh, it's Asa. And he's defending himself with his chopper. He's doing a good job so far. But he's in danger of getting poked by a 17-incher, and so it came to be. Not really much you can say to that. But, you know, these things. And we return with the next round. Except this is Conquest. So, you can see, there's the fields, there's H. Barnes Farm, and the field hospital. And various spawns. So you can see A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 3 or more. There we go. And we're ready to go. So, field hospital is point A. The orchard is point E. Barnes' farm is point B. The cornfield is point C. And the Swish's farm is point D. And you can see up the top the HUD showing ownership of each of the points. As we're following here the members of the 77th.
Let's go, boys!
As they move forward. There's Sink. There's High Lord. And there he is. The Ginger Ninja himself is Aztir. Leading the boys forward. So. And they decided to stop at the house. So it looks like they're going to be capturing the farm. So you can see B and D is now taken. E is being captured by Union. A is being captured by Confederate States. And so you're going to have a difference in tickets. C is the only point at the moment that hasn't been taken. There's Kincaid from the 33rd. Over here, not far from the field hospital. We can have a look around to see what the Union forces from the 2nd USC. There we go, the Union are capturing the cornfield. And there you go, the Union have captured the cornfield, so it means the fight is going to be probably over the field hospital, because that's where a majority of everybody is going. And you can see now these Union forces ran out to see what was going on and decided to run back. So they are going to be making use of the defensive position of the field hospital, but they could end up getting squeezed from two directions. And you can see them here defending. These fine fellows.
Keep going!
Defending the field hospital from all comers. At least if you get injured, you're in the right place. And some of these guys are taking shots. Let's have a look over the top. The fields. Wow, look at that. That's a lot of fire coming in. Look at this detachment. Trying to defend Swisher Farm in a massive long line. Ready to repel any attackers that might try and push towards it. Now inside here with the 7th West Virginia are making a push into the field hospital. Major Moscovite. And you can see the field hospital only 190 yards away. But H. Barnes Farm over here, a position of defensive doodahs and all the rest of it. So here comes Stiper from the 33rd. These guys are moving in. Commissar Badger's in there and they're looking to pour fire in towards the defensive position of the Union. As these guys are trying to dodge the bullets as best they can. You can see, if I'm right in seeing, yeah, there, look at that. Confederate State forces are now pushing in from the other direction at the same time. Now you're going to have the 63rd New York trying to repel them. It's the 77th. The pistols are out. Yep, that's brutal. That's completely brutal. And now Irish Devil, or Dervish Devil, Sergeant Major, has just been executed. He is no more. Now, that means that these guys can start moving in towards H. Barnes Farm. Possibly. Sorry, move from the farm and start to push this point here. Probably towards the orchard. But the members, these guys hiding behind... Oh, these guys are being pincered. This is not good. This is seriously not good for these guys. You've got the 77th over there. And now they're being pushed even further back. As the Confederate State Army comes charging... Oh dear. Come charging in. Mop up the survivors. The stragglers. And stop for a quick visit in the Kazi. Who doesn't want to check out, spend time in the 19th century Kazi? So, Field Hospital, look at the ownership. Has not really changed significantly. Ownership still remains the same. There's Alex 02 from the 1st HEI. And these guys all piling out of the building to go and support the defense of Barnes Farm. And this is going to be one of the primary areas they're trying to hold. As you can see, the bullets just clattering into the stones around them. Checking Homo Wall as he tries to defend. Supported by his teammates there. First Lieutenant Sink. Mysteriously conscious and alive, which is very unusual for him. In these sort of games, he does tend to snuff it first. So, looking over here, you can see, obviously, numbers will be coming. There's Kincaid making his way away from those attackers. As now we've got over here on the far right hand side quite a significant number of attackers. Mostly going up against the Union forces, who seem to be outnumbered. Just on sheer weight of numbers. And they're gonna... Yeah, they're fighting for their survival. As best they can. And it's not going well for them. Yeah, they could lose the flag. Old Glory makes a run for it. Understandably so. Keep going. Old Glory in the field. And they're really trying to catch him. And he's being held back and defended by one of the officers who sacrificed his life to save the colours. A brave, brave man. And that was Fleischer. He's managed to save the flag for the Union Army. They're continuing to pour fire back into the enemy from this defensive position of the cornfield. They want to hold this cornfield from the attackers. Because right now, I think it's fair to say, look at the difference in tickets. Definitely the Confederate State Army has the advantage with respect to numbers. Ouch. First Lieutenant Dankman. Trying to hold this position with Wilfried as well. But the numbers are slowly being pared down by devastating fire. Look at this from the Confederate State Army. And the numbers just being reduced very, very slowly. Bacon Oreos trying to survive. There's wait. Okay. Looks like they've lost their officer. There's General Shepard. I have a suspicion this may be a situation where they need to push back. Or pull back, sorry. Because they're just losing too many people. This defensive, this offensive line of the Confederate State. What's going on here? Private Potato. About to have his chips. And so it proved to be. But they're still pushing. They're still pushing hard. And you can see Dankman there punishing one of the enemies. But yet more fire coming in.
Give 'em cold steel.
Here's Boone going up against Wilfried. Look at this. But we've got additional forces helping Boone. Man with an axe. Correction, the next man with an axe.
To glory.
But Wilfried is defending himself, but he's out of position. And he's slowly being surrounded, but he does have people supporting his back. Oh dear. Yeah. So, he got obliterated. Now, they make their way down the road. Oh, that was just brutal. Going in to stab Zachary and he got absolutely cut to pieces. And more stabbing coming in. There's Safu. Fighting again. Oh, goodness. The pistol's out. We got a defensive line over here trying to provide a bit of cover. The 14th VA. Fine fellows of Virginia. But there's significantly less of them right now. Southern Fried J looking to meet up with his teammates and support them. But the Confederate State Forces are being trimmed down to the bare minimum. May not be enough. We'll have to wait and see. So, you can see there the fields, which is the spawn, the B points, H Barnes Farm, the field hospital, and then the cornfield being held, as well as the orchard by the Union forces. Sorry about that. Just had to pause for a second. So we're watching to make sure these fine fellows from the 69th New York and the 82nd, oh dear,
Show 'em how.
you can see just the numbers being just pared down by devastatingly accurate fire.
We got 'em.
And these things, obviously, bear in mind, these rifles they're using are lethal to 300 feet, you know? It's pretty mad. What's this? It's Mr. Potato. Getting aggressive again. Looking to reload. And supported by Sergeant Wilbert. By ex-Sergeant Wilbert. So, can the Potato make it in his ninja attempt to strike? And you can see he's in a target-rich environment right now. And yeah, unfortunately the richness of his targets decided to shoot back, and so Potato is no more. And now you can see some of the Union forces moved up, and the Confederate State forces are making their way across the fields. Wilbert and Co. Sorry, what was left of Wilbert. Making their way over. And there's Captain Hess. And Sub-Zero. Of the 1st Texan. Being pushed back by Union forces. Now backpedaling somewhat. As Wilfried and Train Boy deal the damage. Oh dear. Oh crikey. Look at this, absolutely brutal. Vito now.
Give 'em the bandit.
Yeah, having a change of plan. Now looking to run backwards as quickly as possible, trying to watch his back and his side and his front and everything because he's going to get murdered. As indeed he was. So you can see now out here in the field, the fight still continues. The Union forces determined to put up a defense. But you can see here the Dank Man from Minnesota is defending himself from the onslaught of the Confederate State Army. And now they're pushing forward. Pushing back against the Confederate State Army, pushing them back to the fence in their defensive position. Finishing off the few remainings with the bayonet. But still taking fire as they make their way over to the fence. Where they are repeatedly stabbed. Or attempt to be stabbed. But it's fair to say the Confederate State forces have the advantage with number. But will they have the advantage when it comes to training? Oh, fine stab, sir. And it looks like the Union are in again to recover their numbers. As General Shepard gets in there, up close and personal, and dies horribly as a result of it. And there's another Union force member in there as well. Old Bacon Oreos has decided to cheese it, and understandably so. Just one of those things. And the Confederates have actually captured the orchard, so the orchard is now immediately being changed ownership. The Union have neutralized the peach orchard. How peachy. Cultist Steve, Corporal of the 51st, deciding to pause briefly. Have a look at his player model. Commentator's curse. Works every time. So, on the roadway. The Confederate State Army continues to progress down the roadway towards the orchard. But it's being defended by these fine fellows here from the 28th. Goodness me. Wow. Some pretty hectic firefights and meleeing going on here. But in this case, the Muffin, Little Muffin of the 1st Texan, or 1st Texas, is no more. Muffin has been sliced. Poor Muffin. The Confederates are now starting to capture the cornfield with a large number of forces. Look at how quickly that changes ownership. Now they're in danger of being overrun, possibly by Union forces. But I think it's fair to say the Confederate State actually have the advantage in numbers, so they are going to take the cornfield and hold it. And no amount of attacks from the Union forces will stop that. So the cornfield now owned. By the Confederate State Army. And look at their numbers, you can see. Look at the difference in tickets. 3360 to 150. So it just goes up and it goes up and it goes up and it's up. As opposed to the other way round. And the Peach Orchard E is being now captured. Look at this. This is great play here. Good tactical play by the Confederate State Army. They've now neutralized the Peach Orchard. And they are just blobbing their forces at each location. But they now have a problem to deal with. As in comes the Union to recapture the peaches. They're not happy with this peachy situation as far as the enemy is concerned. And so they're moving in. for a little bit of murdering. And of course, random stabbage. It's all about the stabby goodness. Captain Cajun deciding to cheese it, but he's supported by his teammates. Out comes the officer's saber. As down goes another member of the Union. Captain Zulan unceremoniously demoted. Uh-oh. With Kethy. Now supported by Cream Pie. Fusilier Cream Pie, no less. What's going to happen? Oh, fine. Stabbing coming in for Mr. Cream Pie. And finally, he is finished off. So, there you have it. Still, the battle rages. Oh dear, look at that. Just the brutality. As yet, more members of the Union are finished off. As down the main road comes Sparky and Aztir, followed by a quick fence-based execution as Aztir and the boys move up to the Union forces. Out comes Aztir's pistol. Oh, Aztir's could be in trouble. Yep, Aztir's no more. And the fight at the crossroads. The fight at Beach Crossroads. And the Confederates have won. Wow. And so we're back with another round. And you can see here the weather has not improved. It's gotten worse. So, as you can see, right literally by the edge of the map, the boys are getting set up. All green, so you know they're all members of the Union. Let's go and have a look to see what the Confederate State Forces are up to. There's Cajun. And the boys getting ready. All being lined up into their various regiments. Organised. And ready to go. The 77th here. Oh, there's a name we haven't seen for a while. Hello, Mr. Malakith Scardy. Hanging around with the 77th. Always a pleasure to see Mal. In as an officer. And no, he's leading some of the 77th out, so. Always nice to see. Who's the tail end Charlie at the back? It's Sue. Sue National at the back. Grenadier. And flag holder. So, fantastic stuff. Now, oh goodness, what's going on over here? This looks like a potential ambush. Down by the train tracks. As you can see, they're making their way through here. Making use of the old tracks of the Iron Giant. Wouldn't it be good if a train came right through the centre? You wouldn't have an announcement or anything like that. It would just be chuff, 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 bang, splat. I'm sorry, that would amuse the hell out of me, but you know. But look at this coming in on the far right-hand side. Up against the 63rd New York. In danger of being overwhelmed by the sheer weight of numbers. Coming in from the 33rd. And the 77Y. They charge in. Against the... Oh, goodness me, look at that! Oh, heavens above, mass murdering! Oh, and he finally gets murdered. That was Aztir. Well, I think it may have been Aztir. Going ham up against the members of TGV in the 18th North Carolina. So yeah, some serious ham right there, boys and girls. Down by the train tracks. In the old ravine. Starting to sound like a country and western song. But never mind. So. The sound of froggies in the background. There's the 63rd New York. Getting themselves ready for another attack. Oh, hello. What's going on here? More Confederate State Army forces. Maybe making a push down the train tracks. On a possible outflanking maneuver. We'll have to wait and see. And here is the 4th Virginia. Oh dear. Five Fingers been brought to an unceremonious end. As indeed had their officer. As now you can see these guys finishing off the remaining members. They gotta watch out behind as well. Now they gotta defend themselves against an awful lot of troublemakers. And it looks like he's managed to survive. That was Hunter from the 51st. Managed to survive quite a while. Until finally he was finished off. And ended. So. We watch as the guys get set up. Oh dear. A lovely shot coming in there. From TGV. And they've lost a number of their people now. They're taking fire. They're going to have to pull back. And now, you can see here, Recruit Knight, Sergeant Willett, Schweng, Recruit Further and Recruit Sparky, all from the 13th Virginia. Now supported on their right flank by the battle flag of the Confederate States. There's Super Mutin. Yes, indeed. Edelweiss. In there as well, Edelweiss. Sacom Major. But look at this, you can see the green in the woods. Mallow may need to run for it quickly. As the bullets start to drop on the ground around them. This is going to act like a bullet magnet. And now you can see them starting to corral their numbers back together again. As some of them are starting to be felled out in the fields. And this is a problem for them. For obvious reasons. As the numbers are being trimmed. But these brave fellows are holding. It's Sink. And the 77th. There's Sue taking cover. Oh dear. It's Mal. Oh dear, Mal's losing his people. Oh dear, Mal's really... And Ree's been hit, so Mal's damaged. And he's determined to fight to the last. Out comes the officer's pistol. Puts a few shots downwind. And decides to make a run for it to try and survive. Everyone else may have corpsed it. But yeah, you can tell it's Mal because of the pipe. And the beard and the long hair. So now you can see Sergeant Huard putting in defensive position. Look at that. Find wicker barrels full of earth to catch those bullets. Yeah, animation needs a little bit of work there for obvious reasons. Oh dear. Well. Surprisingly, Mal is still alive. I don't know how he's managed it. He's breaking the convention of Napoleonic Wars history, as his survival was usually not guaranteed. And there is 6 minutes left, so plenty of time for it to go downhill. Yep, yeah, and there we go. The universe has corrected itself. The aberration has been fixed. Oh, poor Mal. Dear oh dear. Oh, brilliant. I love it. It's great to see Mal playing in these kind of events as well. Just so I can take the mickey out of him. Bless him. Right. Fine from melee. Fine fusillade coming in there. From the lads of the TGV. Let's look around. Oh, hello. Fine man with a horn. Space Royal Fighters. Fine horn work, sir. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Bugle, sharpshooter's bugle. Out comes the saber. Oh, fine slice. And the Union will bugle themselves to victory. And we're back with the next round. The weather, as you can see, it's like being in Wales. Obviously, there's less hills. But this is very Welsh, I have to say. I love Wales, I really do. I've been there quite a few times, and the rolling hills, just amazing. And, I mean, I had a flatmate who was Welsh. In fact, his accent was so thick that even people in his own town thought he was putting it on. And I love the Welsh accent. Just fantastic bunch of people. Love them to bits. And yeah, their country is just massive rolling hills, incredible scenery and lovely people. So, apparently they want a siege, so the siege may be possible. Hauptmann Thorn. So, I probably need to speak to Olaf about the names disappearing, but I suppose it's just a rendering thing, so it renders up to a point and then disappears. But anyway. These are just minor issues. Let's go for a siege, shall we? We'll vote for a siege. And it's a 77Y. Charging in. There's Slavic, Fortune 0. Oh my goodness. Okay, well the charge has been ended. Quite significantly. So yeah, that charge didn't work out as well as the 77th would have liked. But, you know, we'll gloss over details. Oh, flag has been planted. Who's that? That's Sue with the flag. Goodness me. This is not good. Look at this fire coming in from these guys. Fine fellows of West Virginia. The 7th West Virginia. And look at that Thunderstormer. With that bandaging. Keeping the boys all healthy. Preventing the blood from tainting the river.
Give up the bayonet!
But the fire now coming in. As the 77th are attacking from the side. Watching Sparky as he makes his way down the river. And Sparky gets killed. Sorry, Sparky. Oh dear. There's Tweet. Going in for a little bit of a stab. Stabby goodness from Tweet. There we go. As more just murdering occurs down the river. Or the creek, I should say we should call it. Because it's not really a river, is it? As there we go. The 77th have triumphed. And you can see them making their way after the enemy. But they don't want to go too far. Yep, they pulled back for obvious reasons. They were met by this significant line of fellows from the Union. And it is the 63rd New York. These fine fellows from New York. A place I've always wanted to go but never have been. And look at that, lightning strikes as well. For those of you not aware, a lightning strike can hit a tree, blow the tree apart, the tree can fall off. If it hits you, it can kill you. And we know that because that has happened, exactly that has happened to Olafsson, one of the devs, who was killed by a falling tree while playing the game. So, yeah, all part of the fun. See what I mean? It would be unfortunate to be struck by lightning in the middle of a battle. I mean, that's just the universe saying, yeah, you're not supposed to be here. We're definitely going to do something about it. What's this? So, here we have Augustus, the 77th. And, of course, here they are. Welcome to Fort Derp, courtesy of the 77th Artillery Section. Hit and blast. There's High Lord. And there's Ralakesh in there as well. There we go, ramming home the Johnson's baby bud, cleaning out the barrel. Getting ready to load the next charge. As you can see, being loaded by High Lord. Possibly. The gun, there's the Vernier sight. There we go, Ralakesh getting ready. Puts the priming powder on the top there. That little section. You see that little screw thing in the top there? Meanwhile, look at these two. Look at that. Now that fog descending now that the rain has stopped. So, Ralakesh ready to run with a shot from the parrot gun. And look at that. The shot is good. Look at that volumetric fog. Oh wow, and the trouble is that these guys are going to have problems seeing anything coming. There's a whole world of pain that could be waiting in the fog for them. This could be part of it. Look at this. Bit of tree murdering going on. Maybe do another one. Commander Cone, victimizing trees. There we go. So trees can be cut down. So he's doing a bit of Minecraft. Being left behind by his teammates, but you know. Never mind. He's enjoying himself. So, as you can see, here's the scoreboard. Top of the scoreboard. 7 and 2 is Carter and then Hunter. And then over here on the other side, 9-1, Recruit. Recruit. 77Y, what's going on there? Well, we can tell you what's going on, but lots of murdering. So we're making our way through the fields, following this Union forces. They're moving up towards Warren's 2nd Corps. The 14th New York State Militia. There's Captain Hollyborn, and here's somebody that I remember very well from North and South days, the New York State Militia. Okay, maybe one less. So, but the thing is where are they taking the fire from? They took the fire from somewhere. The flag is up. Being controlled and taken care of by Captain. And they are returning fire in towards the woods of AP Hill's 3rd Corps. Over by the train tracks, I think they are. Yep, that's what it's looking like. And look at that, you can use enemy cannons. Oh, hello. So, these fine fellows of the 1st HEI. You can see them taking some shots, but they hide behind a nice solid rock, so that's going to give them an advantage. So, the New York State Militia also well hidden, and the all charge will begin in 30 seconds. Supported on their left side by the members of Space.
Let's go, boys!
Look at these guys, their uniforms, don't they look lovely? Them doing all the actions, it's just great watching it, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. And there we go.
Into the breach, boys!
Into the breach, dear friends. Onto the train tracks. And the murdering can continue. Them all appearing. Whoops a daisy. Oh dear, yeah, that's not a very all charge right there. Oh dear. Yeah, I think it's fair to say the Union forces may be outnumbered. 6 versus 21, yeah. Not looking good. And they're literally running backwards. And it's going to be all over very soon for the New Yorkers. Ah, they managed to force a few team kills. And he's trying to survive, but sadly it was not to be. And we're on to the next round. Okay, boys and girls, we got a 3-minute build-up timer. You can use as many pieces as you want in the artillery. Oh, butthole crews. Now, look at these mortars. Oh, wow, look at these things. A sapper and a medic. Look at these. Sitting, waiting. See, look at this. Just detail on the... Oops. See, just detail. On the barrel as well. Look at that worn edges. All sorts of stuff going on. Wow, look at how Imagine trying to aim that one.
Ready!
Number 3. Look at this. So there you can see the angle. Set the angle. Wow. That's a pretty serious piece of kit. But that took some casting. So you can see the parrot guns in place. Set up and ready to go. All the tools. Look at this on the ground as well. The wheel to enable them to rotate around that front center. There's Mercenary Captain. Good stuff. Look at that. And a nice view. See? Typical. So, over here, you also got a defensive position. 2 cannons. More cannons facing towards the camping area, which has a particular location, the infantry quarters, which is one of the capture points. And so, you can see defensive positions in place. So, let's see, as here comes the Union Army on the attack. TGV von Winkler leading out a beautiful double line. The question is how long will that double line last for? It may not be long. Over the fence? Nope. Around the fences. Over they go. And so they make their way closer and closer to their quarry. Now it might be that they're going for the defenders' quarters by a roundabout route. The circuitous route, in fact. So we're following these boys as they make their way. That looks exactly what they're going to do. But they've got to be careful. For obvious reasons. One cannonball could wreak havoc on these guys. And you can see them starting to sort of spread. There we go. Attacking the defensive positions. With the sappers taking down the defences. The cannons then starting to fire. And they're into the defenders' quarters over the ramparts. And into the positions. So, this is where it gets nasty. The Union now taking fire from the ramparts of the defensive section. Moving forward. Making use of the cover, because we all know of the defensive capabilities of canvas tents. And this is what they've got to be careful of. They're going to get blocked now. They're going to get locked in. A few mortars, a few cannons, and it's going to be absolute bedlam. And they've really got to try and make their way over. So, you can see them literally just being bottlenecked here. And this is going to be a problem for them. They walk up the centre. It's just going to be a tunnel of death. Oh, look at that. That was nice. And one's in. Almost immediately murdered. But one got in over the top of the ramparts, and now Teammates can push the situation. That's exactly what they're doing. Wow. Waited for the defensive position to get reduced in number. They've got cannons here, but they don't have enough men. This is now going to be a problem for them. Oh dear. And so you can see Mallow there, Lieutenant Colonel, trying to move around. The defensive cannon positions may be overrun quite quickly. We'll have to wait and see. Look at this. Oh, TGV guys. Locked in. As the defensive position now of Fort Henry Lyon is starting to solidify a little better now. And look at this. This is like the regimenting coming in from Napoleonic Wars players. Stand up, out of cover, take a shot, move back into cover. Oh, there's always one who charges up. And here, from Maine, is Angel. Oh dear. Yep, they got cut to pieces very quickly. Look at this. Very aggressive play coming in from... There's Wilbert. Oh, he surrendered. Question is... Well, there's no Geneva Convention in this time. So... Will the surrender be accepted? Oh.
We got them.
Oh, blimey. Oh, wow. War crimes being committed right now. Look at this. So the war crimes trial is continuing. And there we go. Oh dear me. Never mind. So, as before with the defense of this particular fort, the Confederate States did a good job of defending it. They were able to hold back this position, primarily just act as a block for the forces that came in. Eventually they got overrun predominantly on the left side. And that was basically it, and they became overrun, and yeah, it went from there, really. Look at that. There's a basket of ammunition being put in there. Gonna be careful, get your head stuck in that thing. Oh dear, the bodies of his comrades. See, look at this. They're firing wicker baskets at people. I mean, that's just not on. There we go. See, look at the way he's leaving it around. That's such a nice touch. Leaving it around to get it over to the position he wants it to be. Once he's moved it. And then it's away. Look at that. You can see the arc. Oh, blimey, look at that! Oh my goodness. Okay, so it turns out that wicker baskets are highly explosives. The Union have captured... They've captured the sea area. Now, it's whether or not they can actually push that advantage. Because it may not be the situation they are waiting for. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out for them. Can they push their advantage once they're in this position? Now, this is the problem. See, they're starting to push up here, but may not be pushing up in large enough numbers. Yeah, that's not going to help announcing your arrival with a horn. There's Marshall and friends. Members of space making their way through. And Aztir and friends are waiting. Correction. Aztir in waiting no more. Got ambushed. And this is what the Union forces are going to be looking for. Sneaking up over the top of the defensive position. And killing the enemy as quickly as they possibly can. 77Y. Or the 77th now. Oh dear, look at that. He's got his Johnson's baby bud out. He's looking to do some damage at Sue. Oh, Sue beat him to death. Beat him to death with the lighting wand. Oh, that's embarrassing. So, there he is himself. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Aztir. Looking out on the fort walls. Look at that fine braiding on his uniform. Doesn't he look lovely? As well, he looks less dead than he did previously, as you can see. Out comes the pistol. But 5 minutes remaining. Look at this over here. You can see the Confederate States are now starting to get aggressive to try and ambush. Look at this. Mercenary captain. Oh dear. There's Royal Fighters having a problem with his horn. What's he gonna do? It looks like they're trying to capture that point back again. But space is slowing down the capture. Royal Fighters is slowing down the capture, and so now they've got to go looking for the man who is changing the ownership. It's not moving quickly enough. Here we go. He's being sneaky. It's still not moving. And Royal Fighters is being very patient. Oh my goodness, look at the... And there we go. The flag is now going to change. Ownership. As Royal Fighters moves out. Supported by Admiral... Uh-oh! Mercenary Captain was waiting for the ambush. The ambush opportunity came in and he's been murdered. And now Marshal, FSC Admiral, and the very patient Royal Fighters can use the bugle to announce Old Glory being raised at the sea point. And there you have it. The rifle pits are captured. So that then puts more pressure onto the fort. Fort St. Henry. Oh. There is Aztir. Oh dear. Some people lying down on the job, as you can see. Wow. Now look at that. Mortar going out. Oh, goodness me. Look at that. Oh, it may not have gone far enough. Those mortars are incredibly good. And could turn the tide of an attack. But speaking of an attack, The TGV are attacking. In they come through the defenders' quarters, over the ramparts, and into the centre of the fort. Fort Henry Line is now under massive attack. There's Captain Holborn. Oh dear, this is not good. Private Chick of the 1st Texan, reloading as fast as he can, goes for the quick attack and manages to dodge the bullet. So Chick holding them back, and sadly he was felled, as now the Union pushes even further into Fort St Henry Line, and now the defenders are looking to fire back into the enemy. Out comes cannonballs. Adolf Sachs with a fine kill. Old Henker got felled. And now they're literally just bypassing all of that in order to push in on the far right hand side of the fort through the open area until they're very, very quickly cut down. Look at this. This is not good for these guys. And they're coming under attack from double sides now. Not looking good for Fort Henry Leon. Or Henry Lyon. Oh my goodness. Big explosions everywhere. And the Confederates have won, but only just. Whew. And so, after that rather entertaining moment, the sides have been switched. And now it's time for the victorious Union's forces to defend the fort that they have recently captured. Let's see, is it that one? No? No, okay. Or maybe it's that one. No, it's not that one either. Okay. Never mind. Okay, So, the mortars, there's Seer Asa from Iron Brigade. Getting set up. Doing his thing. Pointing it towards the rifle pits, as you would expect him to. There we go. Just a little bit of adjustment. There we go. Nope, nope, back. Indecisive, indecisive. Never mind. Okay, so is the basket being loaded? No, it's just a standard ball. High explosive bugger. And it should be underway any second. There we go, the primer powder is loaded. And the shot is away. Look at that shot going long distance. Oh, wow. That really went right for their spawn. Holy crap, that was pretty insane. Yeah, he was trying to get a nasty little kill out of that. Now, interestingly, in as a scout, is Corporal Chef. Just scouting out the area, looking for the enemy. Keeping an eye on everything. Is Little Muffin of the 1st Texas. And you can oh dear, oh dear. Wow. That was a good shot. Killed a couple. Knocked a lot over. With the concussion effect. But now you can see the Confederate States are making their way over to the rifle pits. The rifle pits are now being captured. As you can see them breaking down the defenses. Oh, look at that. Lovely stuff. Oh, crikey, blimey. You know what that was? That was a landed charge, which then fused. So it didn't explode on impact. It actually landed, stayed buried, and then exploded. So now the rifle pits are being captured by the Confederate States. And we watch. Uh-oh. Yep. Oh my goodness. That's bad for them. But a nice shot indeed. Got a couple of kills with that one. Probably going to look to repeat that kind of thing. The thing is, the Confederate State Army cannot hang around. They've got to get in there fast and do the damage. The question is whether or not they'll be able to do it quick enough. Without getting shot, like that. And you can see now, the TGV are defending the ramparts on the left-hand side. And yeah, they've got to be careful about standing. Oh dear. They've got to be careful about standing on the side. For obvious reasons, because they can take fire. And you get sneaky little people like this one. Charging in. Round the side of the defences. And trying to take out the cannoneers. Oh dear. So now they've managed to repel boarders, but they're still taking more fire. Conrad, Lipwig of TGV, and the TGV have lost another man. Commander Cone. And look at this over the top. Look at that. If that was to catch an entire regiment there, that could be very deadly. And it looks like here, the defenders are going to have problems over here on the left side. Let's go and have a look to see what's going on over by the defenders' quarters. Because I don't think there's a lot going on, really. You can see a bit of fire coming from the defenders' quarters area. But there's not really a huge amount of defenders over here. On the right-hand side of the Fort St. Henry line. So these guys are doing a good job. As they've moved up, actually, to perform a defensive line by these ramparts. To essentially hold back the Confederate States before they get anywhere close to their quarters. And so you can see the 63rd of New York defending the point. Or some of them are, at any rate. But they're still suffering casualties. You've got these guys here. Looking out for people trying to outflank. As these fellows are indeed doing. And you can see these sneaky buggers. From BS, you can see here. And they're losing their numbers. So they're not really able to kind of push too seriously into this area. Maybe they're there sort of as a harassment, just to focus their attention over. Oh! Getting cramp in me bum. Not good. Anyway. So we're following... You can see the centre here. Not really being pushed too hard. Obviously the rifle pits now owned by the Confederate States means that The main A point is going to be the primary focus for those Confederate state forces. But the trouble is they're not really doing it in any kind of serious number. I mean, granted, we do only have 42 players on the Confederate States and 48 in the Union. Oh, goodness me, look at this! Valken Commander Cone with some serious engineering defensive work. Putting down extra lines of defensive barricades. Look at this. And then filling it with earth. Fantastic. Just to give them an extra line of defense. In case they make it through this one here. And then the guys have got another defense line set up as well. This is great stuff to see. Oh dear, Commander Cone gets jumped until his opponent is ambushed by the enemy. Or by his teammates, I should say, sorry. So that's going to be a very interesting defensive encampment that the Confederate State Forces will have to overcome. Oh, Fortune, Lieutenant Fortune of the 51st, out with the pistol, executing people as they try and run up the ramparts. Very, very brutal. As Mercenary, Private Dude, Campbell and others are trying to make their way over. Duckling Greenie, Private Duckling Greenie, what a great name. As the Parrot gun is still firing. Controlled by George Young of TGV. With explosions, oh dear. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Yep, pretty much. Nice landing. Look at this. Wow. And now you can see the Confederate State Forces are in holding, or trying to get this point, I should say. But there's not enough of them around it yet. There's going to be soon though. There we go, you can see it starting to tick away very slowly. Very slowly indeed. And they're focusing their attention on this point. As Old Glory slowly moves to the ground. And there, look at that, the Union redoubling their efforts back to the flag. In an attempt to recapture it and essentially prevent Old Glory from falling to the ground. Now she starts to creep back up. And slowly making its way back up to the top of the flagpole. Which means that could have been a very, very close moment for the Union. But more members of the Confederate State Army are making their way in. But there are now more defenders of the Union at the flag point. So now Old Glory is defended. And still they're pulling back. With 6 minutes left on the clock. You've got here. There's Johann Mayer. Working together with his teammate. There's Wilfried. Taking pot shots of remaining members of the Confederate States Army. Who get ambushed as soon as they step inside. There's Mercenary. Going after members of the Union. Major Friedheld. And there he goes. And look at that. More Confederate state forces pouring in, but being very, very cautious. They're not, well, they're not really pouring in, they're just being very cautious, trying to finish off the defenders, as many as they possibly can, before actually pushing into the flag. Look at this massive. Look at this, isn't this lovely in here? Ammunition storage. Huge wooden bunker. And the Union forces continuing to fight. It's almost as if they're putting a circle of barrel defences around the flag, making it easier to hold. That is a possibility. And there we go, Valk defending the flag. Ow, look at that. His attacker's killed by the artillery charge that lands. But yet more defencing coming in. Joseph Zoa finished off. As now the Confederate state forces more mortars landing on the flag point. Old Glory starts to sink. Oh goodness me, look at that. Old Glory slowly making its way down the flagpole. At the same time as the C point is changing ownership as well by the looks of it. Maybe that stopped in its tracks. But the A point is slowly starting to sink. We're watching the flag drop. More Union forces bunched up over on the right side there. May not be able to get in and stop the flag dropping. It's still dropping inch by inch. And the Union forces are not being aggressive enough in pushing towards that point, and it's now there's a lot more Confederate state forces on the flag area, and it's going to start ticking down very, very quickly. Unless the Union start to grab hold of themselves and move in quickly. You can see here 3-4 Union over there. They need to rush in as a number. And it could all be over very, very quickly. Wow, especially when shots like that come in and kill multiple members of the enemy. Look at that. Now, immediately... Oh my goodness! Oh wow! Holy shit, that's insane. Just the destruction that occurs. Look at this. I mean, just... absolutely brutal. And then in comes the Confederate State Army charging in to finish off the remaining Union defenders. Unfortunately, the Union defenders may not have pushed that point back far enough. Obviously, a large number of them were killed by the resulting explosions. And they may not be able to hold it. But they've got 1 minute and 36 left. The C point is now back under the control. The rifle pits back under the control of the Confederate State Army. And now Old Glory about halfway down the flagpole. And now only a few members of the Confederate State Army are at the flag. And another explosion just wipes everybody out on the flag. Holy crap. That was pretty insane. Now, who can take advantage? It looks like the Confederate State have the troops in place to push that advantage. There's only 2 Union soldiers in there. The rest are Confederate. And look at this. The Confederate State Army is rushing the point. Trying to get everyone together to try and change the ownership of Fort St. Henry Lyon. Look at these numbers just moving in. And look at Old Glory starting to drop quickly. It could be turned... They need to turn this around quickly. If there's another mortar dropped in there, that could be the end of them. It's going to be brutal if that's happening. They've neutralized Fort St. Henry Leon. Or Henry Lyon. What's going to happen? We're waiting to see if there's going to be an explosion. Or somebody who's just fired by the cannonball shot. And there we go. It looks like that's going to be it. The fort has been taken by the Confederate State Army once again. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That has been an event on Battle Cry of Freedom. Thank you to everyone and to obviously the developers for inviting us along. And God knows the amount of data they would have got from this event. A huge amount. Anyway, my thanks to them, my thanks to all the players that attended. I hope you've enjoyed the video that resulted as a result. Too many results. Yeah. See you later. So, let me just have a look at my settings. I just want to see. So you can see graphics is running at ultra. So, you know, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I don't have the highest spec machine compared to, you know, 3090s and all the rest of it. But it's still pretty beefy. So obviously I haven't been able to fine tune a lot of this stuff yet. So you can change field of view, depth of field, which I don't really have. You know, just turn it off, turn it on. You see, I mean, it's just like, you can adjust it on the fly as in when you want. You know, free camera speed setting. You know, we can have it a bit faster, a bit slower. Smoothing, obviously, use cinematic camera. And then obviously various different adjustments. You can even have motion blur if you wish. And we can obviously have a vignette as well around the screen. Use grain if you want it. But we're in a field full of grain. But yeah, you know what I mean. So here we've got the audio settings, all the various different things. Musket, background music, which I've got turned off for copyright reasons. UI sounds. Toggle. So you got voice chat. All that kind of stuff. Plus you can actually select which is your microphone that you want to use, which is nice. So yeah. Miscellaneous. Mouse sensitivity. Map editor. Sensitivity. Circular reloading circles. You name it, so you can have a big circle go around saying you're reloading. Invert mouse up and down, invert mouse left and right. So there's literally, see, even an input delay for melee if you want it. You know. You can even offset your player camera to the left or the right. So there's plenty of options in here that enable you to essentially change it. Don't know why it's saying 1280 by 768. Not sure about that. Maybe it should be. Right. $1920 by 1080. Ah, much better. Ah,